You are listening to the VCast.
And we're back. New episode, the VCast. This is episode 86. I'm just keeping track of these hits after hits after hits. I'm really excited today. I got a friend of mine here, RoRo Antonuccio.
Yes, you got it right, Vic.
On the first try.
Yes, very
Antonuccio.
good.
That's all these Italians I grew up with.
Antonuccio.
I'll start saying it like this. I'll put a little bit of that in
It's
it.
even better. Do
RoRo Antonuccio, comedian and now councilwoman.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Exciting.
Yes, it is exciting.
That
I'm gonna
is-
hold it. Can I
Yeah,
hold it?
You can hold it. Yeah, you can hold it.
I
You
know.
can hold it up on there. I want to get like some arms. I think maybe arms might be easier
I don't know.
on
but
you because
no,
I feel
it's
like
cool,
if you
it's
have to, then you're stuck like this talking.
I-
And I don't have the best of posture. I like to like lay back a little
back.
bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
like
looks
to
cool
get
like that,
comfortable,
right?
right? Yeah, I get
totally. All right.
comfortable.
All right, let's chill with it.
Yeah, so you're chilling now on the council. How you
Yes.
like it?
I love it, actually.
Yeah?
I love it. I love it. It's funny because the name
Councilwoman, so official.
which I honor. I do. I
Yeah.
honor the name. I'm very happy that it happened. The way the door opened up and I jumped in. And I love stuff like that, especially with I guess the intention was good intention. The thing that I do though, because people will be like introducing me, councilwoman, and I cut it down. I'm like, call me RoRo. And when you see them that they can connect on that level,
Yeah.
that to me, I'd rather, because I want to leave that. Because once, and if the title ever goes away, they'll still remember me. So
Yeah,
I
for
try
sure.
I try to make it like, you know what, we're at that level that obviously I don't want to keep going, but it's respect. But at the same time, call me RoRo. And the kids and people are like, all right, cool, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you get, like, how did that even get, like, did you get into that? Because I remember when, like, I saw you running, and, like, this was probably, like, 2022? It was last year?
2021.
It was, yeah, I remember it was, like,
Yes.
middle of COVID.
Yeah, so I ran twice.
Mm-hmm.
I ran twice. So you want me to tell you how?
Yeah, like, how, like, because you weren't ever in politics before, right?
No.
Right? Did you ever do, like, PTA?
Nope.
Any of that stuff? No, you just straight up, I'm city councilwoman.
I'm here, guys, everybody. Which I love because I always say when someone says like, "Oh, now you're a politician," and I'm like, "No, I'm a servant." And
that's upsetting because I was like really hoping to be like, I got my first politician on the VCast.
All right, fine. For the VCast, I'm the politician. No, I know it sounds so like whatever, but the door opened. So the mayor actually called me and was like, hey, let's meet. And he pretty much said that a few people nominated me to run.
Wow.
And
That's got to be humbling.
it was so cool.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a lifelong resident. My parents are from Italy, and we've been a family in Roselle Park for over 50-something years.
Wow, yeah. You got a lot of roots in the community. Then.
Yeah. So, and the town was awesome. We had neighbors and families and growing up there. So, honestly, it was like, hey, if I could help and I could do something. But I did tell the mayor, I was like, listen, let me think about it. Because I wanted to really pray about it and see like if it was the thing for me. And then honestly, the next morning I got an answer and I felt really grounded about it. And I was like, so many things, the youth center, things that I can really be part of. And that's the whole thing. It's in the center of where I grew up. So it's the library, it's the youth center, it's community center. There's a movie theater there. It's like all the stuff. So being even a comedian, bringing in like entertainment or connecting that part of my life, it was even part of that. So, but anyway, yeah. So
that's part of your responsibilities.
Yes.
As a councilman.
Yes,
now, is that like is they break that up by district?
Yeah, it's part of the ward.
Ah,
so my
the
ward is
ward.
the third ward.
Third ward. I gotta put 2 up. Third ward.
Yeah, like it's actually, so the community center, the library, the rec center, youth center, movie theater, all the businesses are in my ward.
Wow. Yeah. So that's a pretty important ward, and yeah.
But and the stuff that I do with like the Jersey pizza joints, I mean, I do all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's with business, promoting small business, local business. So it was like all together. Anyway, so I ran.
Mm-hmm.
He pretty much was like, okay, this is what you have to do to be able to run. And he's like, you have to campaign, which, again, I took it as going on to people's porches, right, and introducing myself. Mm-hmm. And I just was myself. I did not want to lie or pretend, or I was straight up with whatever I brought to them. And people did. When they walked, they're like, you have to say this. And I'm like, I don't have to say nothing. Mm. And I actually made it my own. And everybody backed off and was like, all right, let her do her thing. That was the first year. I lost by 8 votes.
Oh my God! How many votes total? And like, how many votes?
So it depends. The town is small; it's 1 square mile. But and unfortunately, this is why it's important to vote, right? Because let's say 700 people come out and vote in your ward, but you have I don't even know. Like, let's just pretend 2,000. 3,000. It's like 35% of the vote. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
they're deciding for everybody else. Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's important. But when I lost, I actually said, okay, it's not meant to be. Cool. Good luck. Awesome. You know what? I tried. And then they called me again. They're like, oh, no. That was only for 1 year.
Yeah.
We want you to run for the second. And it's a 3-year term. So I thought of it and I said, okay, I got to do it. And I went with the same heart. And honestly, I just connected. This is my thing. It's not about the one party. And I have to say, the party that I ran with are legit, really good people. Mm-hmm. A great team. They care about the community. And that's why I said yes. And on that level. And then, honestly, I just was like, I want to do what I can. And people from the other party actually voted for me. Because they saw me as the person. They didn't see and judge me. Some people did. They were like, how can you be on my porch?
Yeah,
I was like,
oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to get by that. Some people play the teams too hard.
Yeah.
Right? Some people play the teams too hard, but I feel like most people, like when you have honest conversations with them, there's no cameras on or nothing, you're just talking.
Yeah.
I feel like most people are pretty moderate.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know
100%.
what I mean? Like
100%.
most people, like when you really boil down to issues,
yeah,
there's there's some things that are polarizing, that are like abortion or things like that. But for the most part, on most issues, I feel like people are pretty moderate.
Yeah.
They're easier to come to an agreement.
100%.
Right? Because when you talk to people in real life and not on the internet, right? When you talk to people in real life, you're conscious of how they feel, right? And how they're going to react to what you say. So you're more careful about the things you say. And you're easier to, it's easier for you to compromise in that situation.
100%.
You know what I mean?
And you see someone's heart, you see what they need. But local politics is not about those big things, which on that level, that's why I said, like, okay.
That's why it's more important. Because it's more impactful.
Listen,
people
life. Call me. My number's out there for the town, and people will call me with, hey, can you direct me with this? Or can you help me with this? Or can you report this? Or, like that's what I do. And talking to people and connecting, it's honestly like, I love it. I love every part of it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of comedy, too, is you get to do it with a whole room full of people at one shot.
Yes. That's, well, the thing is that being on the mic with comedy and then going on the council, it's like listen, with respect, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you do bring yourself. And that's what I love about, again, like the mayor and the people like in my town, they're themselves. He's laid back and he's real. He's super smart. But for me, I start with a joke. I start with something heartfelt, or I start with something that people really need to. Or yes, I haven't brought cannolis yet. I brought you cannolis. I brought him cannolis. I did. There you go.
I can't wait. Thank you so much. Just so for context of why this is so funny to us is because every show that she's ever on, she brings snacks for the entire audience. She comes stacked to feed people, and that's the 2-part connection that you get. You get the connection of not only do you make people laugh and feel good, but then you make their bellies warm and fuzzy
100%.
inside.
How do
That's
you
like
not
2
go
ways. Yeah, that's 2 ways. You know, I was just in Austin, and there was like a lot of live music there. And I've never been into concerts. I've never gone to concert. I've never been to a concert before. Yeah, I've never been to a concert. And I've never really, like, I've seen like a band that's somewhere passing by or something. And it's never really resonated with me. I'm always like, why do people go to so many concerts? It's so silly. Like, you just, the music, like, just listen to it in your car and shut up, right?
Be addicted.
Now, when I was in Austin, I went to the Creek in the Cave.
Okay.
And there was I bought a ticket for a show and just sat down. It was my first night in Austin, and I was like, "This is pretty cool. This is exciting." There was no headline or nothing. It was just a house show with with their comics on there. And the guy that opened the show opened with a guitar, right? And he just started playing, and he started taking requests from the crowd. And somebody recommended Creed, a Creed song. I don't even remember the Creed song it was, but he started playing it, and he's playing this electric guitar. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, and like the music is like penetrated me,
so good,
right? And then he started singing. And he's like, and then this guy has long hair, Yonder. All right, his name is Yonder.
What?
All right, yep, I remember his name because Yonder bags. That's what they use in like the comedy clubs to seal your phone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You get a bag,
yes,
they put a bag, it locks it, and then you just walk around with it.
That's
and then if you need it opened, you have to bring it to a staff member.
Yes, I remember that.
But that's how I remember his name. The Yonder bag, his name is Yonder. And he just played and he was singing and it connected with me. And I was like, damn, I was like, you connected with me 2 different ways. I've never felt anything like that.
That's
like,
so cool.
Like it was like a frequency that I wasn't like untapped. And I'm like, oh, now I get
it's the artist.
Like
right?
now I get that whole music scene and the live music. And you go to a concert and you're there with 60,000 other people, but you're there, just you and that performer. You just get lost in that music. So you being able to do that like on city council is probably such a good tool for you in getting things done.
I think it's that, and that's the thing. It's like in all the avenues, and especially in that connection, like you said it, whether it be music or art or whatever our heart is, it's that peace. I always say, just bring your peace. I bring that peace. But even what you're saying with the music, I have to like interject in my little Florida story. I went to Florida. They have those little spots everywhere, and it's music, and it's like everybody connects. And that's the thing, I went to a show in Pennsylvania. I did a show like about a month ago, and I met, can I say his name? O.J. Simpson, I think his name is, on Instagram.
That's hilarious. The football player.
Listen, I got to
Can I say his name? It's like, is it all right if I talk about this guy?
He's on Instagram. The reason I mentioned his name, like, he made my mouth drop because, again, he shows up with a guitar, but his voice, and he does a comedy thing. I literally went up to him. I go, who the frig are you? Like, who are you? He started laughing. He's like, hey, what's up? It's really cool. And I was just like, but again, it made me, I text him. We messaged each other. I said, you brought me to a whole nother level of how I need to be free and how I can bring things out, not to be afraid. Because that also not lingers, but it brings you into what you want to do in this world. Don't be afraid. I have that, whatever. I can have a vision of a certain visual or thing or idea. It's up to me to bring that out. And if I do, like I did with the women in my town in March, and I want to continue that going forward, I had this idea. I'm like, I just want to get the women together, women inspiring women. These women came out, and again, I say this because I really pray that the world, little by little, if you start in the town, it can happen in whatever, the state, whatever, and then just keep going. But we came out, we didn't think about party lines. We sat down, we left everything at the door. These women came through the door, I didn't even put name tags out. I had a dream the night before to put out words like peace and love and joy, kindness, gentleness. I said, pick a word, whatever comes out at you. I said, and when I spoke, I said in the message that I wanted them to know is, okay, who's sitting next to love, and peace is sitting next to gentleness. And they all looked at each other, and I'm like, you don't even have to know someone's name. You just have to know what they have so you can get that. And they were just like, what? But that was in my brain, and I brought it out, and I was like, little things like that, you know?
That's awesome, yeah.
So that to me was
that's
a
so
blessing,
impactful. I feel like not only like you said how it spreads around the world, that's like kind of like the pay it forward deal, right? Like you spread that message to other people, and now those people leave with that energy that you left them with, and now they're gonna go give little bits of it. But it's like you have to keep refilling it, right?
100%.
You can't just let that, like, it's not gonna last.
No. You have
It's like motivation.
You got to keep it connected,
right? Like motivation. You know how you get motivated to do something, and then all of a sudden, like, you just fizzle out, like, you know. I feel like that's how the goodness feels.
Yes.
That's so crazy.
You have to stay motivated. You have to stay connected. But yeah, like, so I have all these other ideas that I want to do, and we'll see, little by little, you know.
What's been your biggest? I don't want to say like surprise, but like something that you were expecting about the job that you were wrong about, like that you were like, oh, this isn't the way I thought it was going to be.
Specifically with council.
Yeah. Like with this new venture in your life, because you always figure you have like these preconceived notions of how something's going to be or how people are going to treat you, and then like you start doing it and you're like, oh, I was wrong, you know.
I think, you know what, honestly, who I am today is the perfect timing, because I couldn't do this 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I was not the same person. So everything that I ever went through really has a purpose. And I don't mean to sound cliche, but it gave me I guess who I am. I know who I am now. So I'm not really insecure about that. The thing that I learned most, though, is like, well, this is how I came into it. The only difference between me or quote unquote a politician and another person is really stepping into the ring. It's really stepping in and saying, okay, I'm going to fight. I'm going to do this. The thing that's surprising is the crowd. So the crowd has a job. Either they're going to cheer you on and be like, yeah, or they're going to tell you that you suck and you could be fighting for your life. And those are the things that I have to be able to, with strategy, deal with. Because people accuse, or without knowing anything, people bring like a fight, contention, when there's nothing to do. Like, go ask instead of point fingers. Go ask. We're an open door. That's what I really know, is that you actually have the ability to go into a council meeting and ask as much as you want. Right? No one comes.
No one comes.
I'm like, where's everybody?
Yeah, you know, I wanted to do that during COVID. I wanted to do the like, I wanted to go to a council meeting. I wanted to be like, hey, you guys are ridiculous. You know, like, what are you guys listening to? Like, you know, like, have you guys paid attention to anything else? Are you only getting your information from CNN?
Right.
Like, I feel like you're only talking TV points. I haven't heard anybody deviate from that. And there's so much other information out there. There's like a whole other
Vic, it's so
realm.
Important. It's so important. And me too. I'm guilty. Who sat there and go, I'm going to go to council meeting? We all are like, I'm going to watch Netflix. Like, that's what happens. But no, like, I have some people that are coming out genuinely, and they're listening more. They're talking more. You hear them, because major decisions are being made. And if you don't come out and voice it, whatever that is, it is up to the 7 people that are up there, 6 people. Yes, I have a vote. I have like a major voice in my town. And I have to stick with the benefit of the town, not just my personal opinion. Because, you know what? Like, I do have certain things and certain convictions and beliefs. Yeah. But I look at the overall. But you, as a resident, if you go out there, like, oh my, and it's so much more fun when people come. I'm like, all right, well, there's an audience, you know, and there's people that, but so.
Huh.
It's
Has
pretty
anything
crazy.
brought people out like in Dro? Has anything like sparked, like anything in the town happened that sparked where you're like all of a
That's a
sudden
good
the whole place is
question.
packed?
You're
like,
fine.
oh, like what's on the agenda today? Like,
I wish the mayor was here. He'd be dying there. Yes, this is I told you, local politics.
yeah.
All right, so
That's the
we
juicy
had this
stuff.
ordinance. It's but it's so like I'm
Yeah.
sorry, it's lame, people. It's so lame. I can't. Oh my god, my Italian sarcasm is gonna come out.
That's what I love.
No, the thing, I can't. So there was an ordinance that was wanted to be introduced to not do major work on your car on the street in the town. You can't do oil changes. You can't change the
whole engine,
like you can't be outside on like the street and the sidewalks and oil spilling and all this stuff going on. Like on the sidewalks, really?
Yeah.
And people came out, story after story after story. What if this? What if that? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I was like,
What's the demographics in Roselle Park? Like, is it black, white,
we have a
Spanish?
good mix. Yeah. We have a great mix.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like Spanish people do that a lot. Like where my family grew up in Camden. Oh my God. They have so many cars in the yard and they're doing work.
Yeah.
They have everything except a lift out
do it
there.
in the yard. I
Yeah.
know. Maybe some people don't have it.
No,
I
but
get it.
That's a good point as far as the waste is concerned. Because when you let everybody do willy-nilly, then it's like there's going to be oil in the freaking drains.
Yes,
you
but
know?
even on just the way. Listen, I don't know. My father was in construction, just doing sidewalks and this and that, and all that stuff. If that stuff is all over the place or garbage or this and that, imagine not having that. You go like I went to Montreal. I mean, it was a long time ago, and I just say because it was such a clean city. It was a city. It was so clean. Being in a small town, you have to really take care of it, you know? And like those, but anyway, yeah. So people came out and they were like,
In
like,
freaking droves to go against the ordinance.
yeah, because they were like, this is against like, but
See, I'm a libertarian, so I'm like a kind of against the ordinance too. Like I'm always against any rules that you're gonna make, but I'm like that makes like such a common sense rule though.
it's just for the
to keep things clean.
yeah, or figure out another way or somewhere else. But you know what? They did compromise, so they did say, okay, washing your car. Yes, like certain work, yes, but certain other major work, no. Like you can't do that.
You can't do an engine overhaul.
Listen, if
changing trannies and
if you had I don't know, a piece of property and you could go, my dad worked on his trucks in the backyard.
yeah.
But some people don't
That's
have it,
your
which I
property.
understand.
Yeah. But in the street, that's a different story.
That's it.
That's a public street. You're blocking traffic now.
Come on. Don't you,
you
want to
know?
go in your town and go like, oh, wow, looks nice.
Yeah, well, then
Instead
what
of
if-
being like, what the hell is that?
What if you're working under your car, right? You got your feet all out in the street. Somebody just drives by, rolls right over your legs.
Not a good situation,
No.
Vic.
They
No.
got tight streets in Roselle Park.
No.
No,
we
they're
have
big open
beautiful-
streets.
Yeah.
Big open, beautiful streets.
We do. We have
Yeah.
parking
good. So you wanna-
spaces. And
Yeah, but you don't want. I can't imagine. Yeah, there has to be a heavy Puerto Rican population in Roselle Park that just showed up to the council meeting. They were like, "Hey, this is where I make my money. I make my livelihood. I run an auto garage out of my
I
house."
love my Latinos in my town.
Yeah.
I really do. No, I mean, it's just, again, a lot of people were saying they don't have the spot wherever they live and things like that. But listen, compromise happened. That's the thing. The voices were heard, which is really cool. And that's what I witnessed. And of course, the mayor, everyone was like, of course, we're going to listen to you. All right, this is how we're going to do it. And they,
Yeah, that's why.
Warmed it up.
That's why it's important. See, like this is my argument with people in politics, and I'm also guilty of this thing that I'm going to accuse everyone of, and it's lazy. It's just being a lazy citizen. I'm also a lazy citizen, right? I write my congressman and my senator like emails
wow.
and things like that.
That's awesome.
It's a little something, something,
Yes,
right?
I never knew this. Wow.
But yeah, I've always done like I haven't done it, and like I felt like during COVID I wrote like a few,
Yes,
and then I
yeah.
was like, you know what, this is pointless. These people don't care about what the people think in this scenario. That's what I feel like when you get to the House, right? When you get to that national level, I feel like then that's just straight corporate jacked. Those people only care about what the
It's such
lobby
a
is.
level. Yeah.
And what their party, that's heavy. Now you can't go against the party because then there goes your funding. There
Right.
goes anything that you want to do. There goes anybody supporting anything you want to
Right,
do.
Right. Yeah.
Right? You have to play that game.
Yeah.
But like locally, I feel like this should be more prominent in people's lives.
Yes.
Right? Because people only get heavy politics every 4 years.
Right.
Right? Or just on what the president is doing.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
argue everywhere about what the president's doing and what we're doing in Bumblefuck, Bumblefuckistan, out in the
Over
middle
there.
of nowhere. Yeah, over there,
On the other side.
where our billions of dollars is going to. Like
Yeah,
everybody talks about that, but nobody talks about the ordinance where they want
Right.
to stop.
Right.
You know, like people aren't debating like local stuff
Yeah.
and the stuff that actually impacts their life.
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
City and state.
Mhm.
State also very big.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah, yeah,
state
yeah.
senator. I don't know who my state senator is for my
Yeah,
district.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's also a state house, right? So you have state. What are they called? They're not Congress, man. They're called like legislators. I think.
No. Yeah.
I think they're called legislators
I don't know.
or something, or assemblymen.
Told you.
Maybe it's assemblymen,
Okay.
right? I don't know. I know the president of
Can I Google?
the
Can I-
president of
phone
the
for an
assembly is a truck driver,
Oh.
and he beat a corporate
Wow.
the incumbent was corporate, like a
Oh.
corporate party
that. That's
person, and
cool.
he came in with I think he was a Republican
Okay.
too on top of it, and he came in as a truck driver and
Wow.
won the now he's the president of the assembly.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's what they're called, the assembly. I don't know. I might
We
look it
gotta
up.
figure that.
I gotta look
No,
it up.
but look it up.
Keep going.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's again, he stepped in, right? He jumped in and said, all right, this is what I'm going to try to do. But the people responded because they believed in what he had to say, you know?
Yeah.
It's good.
That's what I feel like. If more people showed up to those council meetings and got more involved, like that has more of an impact on your life,
Yes.
right? Like if you,
100%.
I don't know. I wanted.
Listen,
That's why I wanted to
yeah.
ask you like how you got into it, because I mean I have a checkered past. I can't ever run for office. People will just bring up dirt on me.
Listen,
And-
what?
They'll be like, this guy used to
No.
work at a mail review. He wants to take his clothes off in the city council office.
We're all no. Do not let anything stop you. You need to go in there because, again, for me, it was someone that said, "Hey," but what if I had that heart to say I want to run? You know, nothing should stop you because anybody can, Vic. Like literally, you know.
Yeah, but you came like you have a history in your town. I didn't know that you had that history in your town.
like,
Yeah, I didn't know you
living
lived there.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
your whole. I don't know why I thought you were from like Wayne.
People think I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah, because
and
I think it's
"You
the
from
Italian
Staten
in you.
Island?" Like no,
The Italian.
no,
I'm like,
I
are you
love
from
all that
Totowa?
Yeah, he used to picture me in the club or something. Yeah.
Look, you can find your legislature. It is the legislature. That is what it is. The current roster. That's what I want to see.
For this VCast.
The VCast. Yeah, no, because I'm learning stuff here too now. Yeah, see, they are senators.
Oh, yeah. So John Bramanick, he's a comedian.
Oh, that's right. He's the funniest lawyer, no?
Yes, yeah.
Is that what he's
Mike
the
Marino.
funniest lawyer, right? In
Yeah,
New Jersey. I
he's
saw
hilarious. He's great.
yeah, and he's a Republican, of course. Not
Yeah.
funny. There's no funny Democrats.
You know I
if
ran
that's
with the
I don't
Democrats,
know
right?
if that's true.
Do you know that or
Huh?
no? Do you know that?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm teasing you.
Why are you saying that?
I'm
Not
just
funny.
saying. I'm kidding.
Damn it, man.
I didn't know you were a Democrat. That was news to me. Assemblyman. So there is. See, the legislature is senates and.
Wait, I know an assemblyman who's really, really awesome. He's in Roselle, I think.
Yeah. I don't know what district
yeah, he's
that
great.
is.
Oh, 20. Go to 20?
District
20?
20?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can alphabetize
Reginald.
these. There we go. Reginald.
Reginald? Yeah.
Reginald. District 1. All right, there we go. District 20. Oh, look at that. I flew right by that. Reginald Atkins.
There he is.
Democrat.
Yes.
Let's take a look at this guy here.
Really, really awesome man. Very positive.
Oh, look at that guy right there.
Yes.
He's a handsome fella.
And I loved, he actually said something really powerful for our town. He said it's not going to be a drive-through. It's going to be a destination town.
Ooh.
So he said. And when he said that, I was like, that's right. I was like, that's how it was back in the day, like people from everywhere, all different countries. They all came there, handing
like
tomatoes.
to live.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you mean, like a destination to go live.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it was a home little just suburb, and honestly, it was like we were handing over, tomatoes over to the next people. People were giving us grapes. Like it was literally, I have things in my backyard. We have like an apple tree from, the Barbarios around the corner. Like,
I think we're going back to that. I think we're going to go back to that because I think our currency is going to collapse. Like our money is going to be no good.
I heard
and everybody's going to
craziness.
take such a hit.
Yeah.
This lifestyle that we're living is fugazi.
Mm-hmm.
The whole country.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to keep up with the Joneses.
For
right?
nothing.
For material things.
Right. But
I'm also guilty of this, right? I'm not materialistic when it comes to clothes.
Yeah.
I'm materialistic when it comes to gadgets. I used to be with my phone. Now this is iPhone 11. I'm like, I'm sticking with this until it bursts. Like, but with food and stuff and like just credit, I think we're so reliant on credit.
Yeah.
Right. And all of that is fugazi.
Yeah.
Right. We print money out of thin air.
Yeah.
And we get loaned. It gets loaned to the banks at zero interest, and then that's all going to collapse. And when it does, and we have to go back to the basics of like the money you have is actually the money you have.
That's it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Right? You have no collateral. There's no credit. So I feel like we're going to go back to that. What can you bring to the table to trade?
Right.
And we're going to go back to a lot more of that simplistic.
I planted eggplants, so I'll bring it. Look, that's why I do the stuff I do with my mother. I'm like, I know nothing compared to these people. That generation, that's what they did. They survived.
Because it was real. They're from when money was real money.
Yeah, but they gave, they lived, they sacrificed. And, oh, man, we could get into all that because it's scary out there. It is scary. People will run you down in the car and keep going and not care.
Nope.
And that's just one. I mean, and then materialistically, you see all these people and all this. I think maybe for me personally, my father gave me, he worked for everything. And so I had a car at 17. Did I live in a palace? No, but I lived in a home. He had another house. So I had that stuff. And we weren't brats or anything. They gave us everything that we needed. But for me, even being married and then losing, like I had to lose a house and I'm in an apartment, and I gave up pursuing like career because I'd rather my daughter. My daughter was my success. So I actually was like, you know what, that's what I chose. But yeah, I sit back and I'm like, man, I don't have X, Y, and Z. But then when I look at the real things I have, the relationship, meaning with my daughter, my mom, the people in my life, God restored really relationships in my life that were dead. When I talk about resurrection in families, people are like, oh, you have such a great family. I'm like, we could have killed each other. Like, you guys have to really know the story, like, but that's just going off. But like you're saying, like neighbors, like I have the best neighbors. We literally are handing over cookies to each other. I'll hand them cookies. They're planting roses. They planted roses in my backyard in honor of my dad.
Oh, wow.
Like, are you kidding me? They make me cry. Every time I come out, they're always like, hey, how are... We're always...
Somewhere else, they'd be like, why are you doing in my property?
No, right, exactly.
Get off my property. Yeah, that would be like such an insult.
My mom is giving bread out to the people all around. I mean, she visits all the people. She gives food. That's what we do, and that's why I learned that way.
Yeah,
because
that whole like everybody that's remained true to like their roots, or the people that got brought up on all that old stuff, like that stuff's gonna be so valuable.
Yeah,
all those lessons, all those like character traits the mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think so much of that is going to get lost. It's lost from me to my daughter. It's just because it's impossible for me to pass down a lifestyle that I don't live, you know? And I could try to pass down, you know, mentality things and stuff like that. But skill wise,
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen,
you know,
we
like,
all live, who has, like, you know.
yeah, it's gadgets now. Like, yeah, I can't, now they pass down to you information,
yeah,
right?
right?
Or they
This is how
pass
you
up
do it.
information. Yeah.
No, but can I just say, though, because my town, I'll always go back to that. They have these things. They have the garden, like little, I don't know if you ever see them. It's like this table, like the little garden plots.
Community garden.
Yes.
Oh, wow. You guys have that.
Yes.
That's so interesting. I hear a lot of places that do that.
And if you can even do that just as, I mean, I'm not saying go, but just as an activity for me, like, listen, I grew up with it. If I show you pictures of the gardens that my dad and my mom did, it was like farms. It was insane. They never let us do it because we were always running around doing our thing. Now I beg my mom. I'm like, please, I need to get my hands in the dirt. I need to, and it's hard as, I'm like, I'm so out of shape. I don't know what I'm doing. But they did it all their life. But she's shown me this is how you dig it in the water and that. But it's such a great thing, you know.
That's part of the character. That's part of the character that generation has that's missing because things are so much easier now, and that the character is built from the struggle.
Yes. Right?
Right? Yeah, 100%.
Hello, can put that on like a, yes.
The character is built from the struggle.
Yes, it is.
Wow, that's good.
That's so
the
good.
character is built from the struggle. Yeah, because I feel like when you talk to people that have gone through something and then they've come out better for it, they're grateful for it.
Yes.
They wouldn't change it.
Never.
They would not want to go back and no, I need that. To be who I am,
100%.
like that's with me in like jail. And like that whole experience of getting sent to jail. Like, you know what? If I could go back originally when it first happened, I'd be like, I wish I could do anything to get to have gone back in time and not have done what I did to get me in trouble.
Right.
But then, like 5 years post, that was like, I can't imagine my life without it. I can't imagine the person I would have become if I didn't have that intervention.
Yes. You don't know because, listen, well, if we take out the list of things, again, I've done things in my past that you go like, okay, why did I do that? Or how did I get into that trouble? Or how did I get that loss? But I always say you're built in the fire.
Yes.
You were built in the fire. You just don't, you think you're going to, but whatever's in you that causes you to rise, that says, you know what, I got to get back up. I got to be resilient. I have to be stronger. You don't even have to say it's in you. We're created that way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, do you get down? And that's the thing. I always fight back. And I have this thing right now that you have to fight against the lies that try to take away what you're saying. Because if you look at it that way and go, no, it made me a better person. Okay, there's certain things that, I wish certain things that didn't happen.
Yeah. And not even stuff that you did.
Yeah.
Stuff that just happened to you.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's like the hardest thing to do when you're in the moment, right? Because something happens to you, and I'm going to say me. Something happens to me, and my first reaction is, why me?
Yeah.
You know, why does this have to happen to me? And I feel like that is one of the most egotistical things you can say. Because, bitch, it ain't all about you.
True. Yeah.
Right? This universe
yeah.
and everything that's happening on this spinning planet is not revolving around you.
Right.
You know, so this happened to you. So now what is your reaction to it?
Yeah. How you going to do it? How you going to get up?
Yes.
I call it the pity party, but what's a pity party? It's the pit.
The pit.
Being in a pit, I don't know. I always look at stories that I read and everything. And being in the pit, you could choose to actually have a party in the pit. You really can.
Yep. And want to invite people.
Yeah, like
Come look at me at my pity party.
Yeah, but almost like, no, but like I shouldn't even had said it that way. For me, it's the focus of what you're going to do there. Are you going to be a survivor? Are you going to thrive out of it?
You're going to be a complainer or a victim.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. For me, there's so much inspiration that I've been in those moments. But then I think of, I mean, for me, it is faith. For me, it's something that it's higher than everything that I'm seeing. Because I've lost materialistic things. I have. But the things that I have in myself, the things that no one else gave me, not another human being could have given it to me. So when I have that treasure and then I spill it over, my main thing always was my daughter. Was my daughter going to be balanced? Was she going to be happy? She was this little Barbie doll at 3 years old, like, you know, like joyful. I was going to protect that beyond myself and my needs. So I let go of everything I needed. And I was like, no, I'm going to do this for her. And it's funny because the lawyer, my lawyer, when I got divorced was like, you know, listen, you're a mom. You're going to do it. I was like, what the like, sorry, can I curse? I don't even know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I'm like, what the? I can't. I'm spitting. I can't curse right now. But I'm like, what do you mean? Like, he's like, no. He's like, moms just do it. Like, single parents do it, you know? And I'm like, how am I supposed to feed her? And he was just like, you'll see. I wanted to, like, I was like, are you kidding me? But then it's like, all right, you know, and doors started opening. I was like a server, a waitress, making like $150 a week. I
Busting
left
your ass.
Yeah, but I left nursing school to be married and make lasagna. That was my MO. I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. And I failed.
I don't think you failed. I think you transitioned.
No, I shouldn't say fail. It whatever. It happened. I didn't fail. It was just whatever it was. But the thing is that, okay, how am I supposed to raise a child now and not have a degree? And you know what? Again, I'm saying this with the purpose is that I don't want another woman to feel that. I want to set up a network that says, okay, this is what to do. You know, who you need to, you know, help with for a house. I had a house. I needed to know who I could trust to come into my house and help me with the heat. You know what I'm saying? I was so scared. But then I was never without. My job literally came to me. I needed a job. I went from making $150 a week pretty much to a $40,000 job. And that to me was something so I could keep my house.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not making $150,000, no. But I made enough. And my schedule opened up that I could pick up my daughter. It's like those little things, right?
That's so much more valuable.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
The money doesn't impress me. When people are like, oh, I got that. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
what else?
Are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing?
Who are you?
Yeah, exactly. I think what people do speaks more about them than what they have.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
because this was like when I used to be really insecure, right, about my financial situation. I grew up poor, but I grew up in nice neighborhoods. But I was the poor part of. I was the poorest of the nice neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
So I always grew up feeling less than and feeling like I wasn't as good as everybody else because everybody else had all this stuff. I remember I told this story before. I went to Sears with my mom once in between schools, and it was like, you know, you go and get school clothes, and I just came from getting bullied in my last town, and I'm moving to this new town, and I want to fit in so bad, and like everybody's wearing Boss jeans, and everybody's dressed in this, and I was like, Ma, I want to go to the store. We got to buy Boss jeans for school. And my mom was like, we're going to get whatever's at Sears. So I'm like, all right. And I didn't know where they sold Boss jeans. So I'm fucking running around Sears looking for Boss jeans. And I asked the person, I was like, do you have Boss jeans? They're like, don't sell Boss jeans here. You got to go to the mall for that. And I was like, oh. And I told my mom, I'm like, we got to go to the mall to get Boss jeans. They don't sell them here. She's like, we're not going anywhere else.
Wow.
We're getting jeans here, and they have Arizona jeans, and Arizona jeans is what you're going to get. So right there, I made this decision that I was less than, like I wasn't worth the Boss jeans. I'm fucking 11 years old, 12 years old, you know? But you're making this decision in your head, and now the rest of my life, I'm playing this over and over. I'm less than the guy that has this. I'm less than the guy that has this. Everybody has. Meanwhile, there's no context to it. And then this is like how I have this viewpoint now, where now I'm just like, it's what you do and who you are that matters than not what you have, because you can have the BMW and be completely miserable, be maxed out in pain, be an asshole, not do anything
Yes.
for anyone.
He's so.
Yeah, you could be or you
Surface.
you can have the BMW. You could be a great person.
Mm.
You could be a pillar of the community. Everybody loves you.
Yeah.
You can be that too, and that has no effect on me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was like once I got rid of that insecurity.
Yes. That's
Oh my God.
Right? Freedom.
Yes, because I used to make myself feel so terrible about it, and like that, that's part of a lot of why I turned to alcohol and drugs was to not enjoy them and be happy about it. It was to cover up how I was feeling.
To numb.
And
Yeah.
because
Sure.
I felt like shit. So I was like, I might as well act. I used to drink like a 6-pack of Heineken and a 22.
Wow.
A 6-pack and a 22 every day.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to drink a lot. So I was drinking a 6-pack of Heineken and a 22 ounce. I was smoking a lot of weed,
Yeah.
going from job to job, mooching off women.
Yeah.
Like the next victim that was gonna come in, the next hostage.
Yeah.
And that was all based. Yeah, and that was all based on insecurity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that's why I'm grateful to the situation happening, because I grew up.
So I didn't know. I gotta
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
I totally didn't even know this. So I want to know.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
do
yeah.
you talk about
I'll tell you. Yeah,
Is this on the VCast
This is
all
the
the time?
VCast,
I gotta
yeah.
tune in to it. No.
This is I grew up. I didn't have a dad. My dad died when I was 6. So I grew up with my mom, my sister, and my brother. But my brother and my sister were much older than me, so I kind of grew up like a lonely child. And we had different fathers.
Okay.
Even though my father was like a stepfather to them, and they called him dad, we still had different dads, and they were
Yeah,
like worlds
it's
apart. But they helped raise me. Primarily my mom and my sister. So I grew up with these strong women, right?
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I didn't know my mom was on the verge of collapse. You know what I mean? Going through that, like the death of your partner
Sure,
and stuff,
of course.
and not knowing where you're gonna do with money now.
Yeah.
It's just you slash your income in half. So I didn't know growing up as a kid that my mom's barely holding on.
Wow.
Right? And that's why now I'm like so fucking appreciative of what she was able to provide for me. And so I grew up with these strong women, and I grew up, my mom struggling. My mom had my Social Security check, plus she worked as a union worker in a factory. It wasn't a factory, it was a roaster for coffee.
Yeah.
Right? So they did all the coffee for Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's.
Wow.
Like she worked the roasting machines.
And what town was this? Where'd you grow?
I grew up in Hackensack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's where I lived the first 10 years of my life. And I didn't know anything about racism. I didn't know about race. I knew like very little.
Yeah.
And then I moved to a mostly white neighborhood, and I learned what spick was, and I learned all these freaking terms and shit.
So where'd you move?
I moved from
Exposure?
that was to Carlstadt.
That was Carlstadt.
That was Carlstadt, from Hackensack to Carlstadt.
Wow.
And then from Carlstadt to Hasbrook Heights, everything changed for me. Like, Hasbrook Heights was such a great town to live in. Yeah. Hasbrook Heights was so much better. It wasn't
That's
as
Jersey?
It's right next to Hasbrook Heights. Hasbrook Heights is right next to Hackensack. They're right on the border. They're border towns. So like a lot of my friends now and everything, they're all from that town.
I'm sorry, Hasbrook Heights.
I don't even know what. No, Hasbrook Heights was good. It was Carlstadt. Carlstadt has the hot dog house. I love that place. I don't even know what we were talking about. How we got off on a tangent.
Yeah, no. How
about like the insecurity.
How'd you get to that point? Like, how did you?
Manipulating women and stuff. Yeah, because then I grew up. Well, that's what I mean. I was raised by women, right? And they provided for me. But my mom also taught me a lot of things. Doing dishes. I had to do chores as a young kid.
Yeah.
Because there was nobody else in the house to help out. My sister, my brother already moved out. It was just me and my mom. So I had to do dishes. I had to clean up. And, I learned how to do laundry. I'm all very self-sufficient in my own life. Living by myself. I do my laundry. Yeah. I do my laundry. I clean.
Oh my God, Vic.
Yeah. Make that stock go up. And then, but I was still dependent on them, like emotionally and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then my mom moved out when I was 18. Right, we had an apartment in Garfield,
She moved out
um,
and you were there.
Yeah.
With your
Well,
sister?
because I moved the girl in. It was me and my mom, and then I moved the girl into my room. Like she just started staying over a lot.
Okay.
And then my mom got tired of it, and then she bought a house in Florida and moved out. But then
like,
she moved out early. She got so tired of me and this girl that she moved out to my sister, lived next door. So she moved in with my sister like before, while she was closing on the house and stuff. She's like, that's how bad she wanted to get
now.
it. Yeah. So she left me, and then when she moved to Florida, then I was me, and I had this apartment, the same apartment that I was living in. We took over the rent and stuff, and I had this fucking hostage girl I was living with, and and we, I'm bouncing around from job to job. Alcoholic, I had no future, no desire.
Wow.
I had no path. Like I was completely lost, and I'm like 22, right? 22 years old, 23. I got arrested when I was 24. So, no, I was 23. I was 23 when I got arrested, and I was just lost, right? With no direction. The only direction I was going was down, right? And I started messing around with other drugs, and then I got the stupidest charge. I got caught selling weed to an undercover cop. Okay. I was a supervisor of a gas station, of a BP gas station, right? On Route 46 in Lodi when it first opened. Okay. Corporate. I interviewed at a diner because it wasn't even finished being built yet. So I was like one of the first employees there. And I started working there, and one of the gas station attendants, we used to smoke. We turned that place fucking insane. One of my childhood friends from Hackensack ended up working there, and we were stealing shit. I was stealing lottery tickets. They had their whole system out there at the gas pumps. They had their own enterprise going on over there. They were selling drugs at the gas pumps and stuff. But I never sold drugs.
Yeah.
I fucked around with it because I listened to a lot of rap music, so I fucked around with it with my friends and shit. But we were never I never was into the enterprise of selling. If I ever tried to sell anything, I lost money because I'm not an entrepreneur like that, a hustler. Like those people that sell drugs, that's a fucking hustle. Yeah. So if they turn that shit into like a legal thing, they always crush it, right?
Right.
If they figure out a way to get legal and do business that way, they crush it because they're hustlers and they go after it. Me, that's not me at all. So I suck as a drug dealer. So this kid that's a gas station attendant comes to me one day and he's like, hey, can you get my friend some weed? And he has this guy in the car. And he's like, this is my friend from high school. He's like, can you get him any weed? And I had like a little bag of weed in my pocket. And I was like, yeah, you want some weed? I have this. He's like, no, I'm trying to get more. I'm trying to get like an ounce or something. And I was like, oh. And then I had just made contact with this Jamaican dude, right? Who lived around the corner, and he had started selling me weed, and he was giving me really cheap prices for like an ounce and stuff. But I never bought an ounce. So I was like, oh, I'll buy it. I was like, in my mind, I'll buy it for this guy. Take a little bit of it. I'm not even charging him more money than what I paid for it. This is how much of an entrepreneur I'm not. Okay, I didn't even mark it up.
Mark it up.
Yes, I didn't even mark it up because this is this guy's friend, and I'm not a drug dealer. Right. So I'm like, I'm thinking it's a one-time deal. Yeah, I was like, all right, I'll get you some. I'll get it for you. Yeah, and he gave me $50, and then I literally got the same thing for $50. Took some weed out for myself, and gave it to him, and then he called me a couple more times, and I did that, and then he started asking me for like coke and pills. Where can you get that stuff? Yeah. And I was like, and then at that time, my oldest brother, who's in a different life, a different lifestyle, he was telling me about these ecstasy pills. He had just told me a story about ecstasy pills that he was getting them for like $2 or $3, or he knew somebody that got them for like $2 a pill for like 1,000 of them. So it's $2,000. This is the kind of life this guy's in, right? So I just had that in my head. So then I told the guy, I was like, oh, I can get ecstasy pills. And he's like, oh, you can? How much? And I was like, $8 a pill. Not like, I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
Just to see what he was saying. He was like, all right, no problem. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll set it up. And then I left. And then I'm like, I started thinking, and I don't know if maybe like a scene from The Wire or something hit my head where I was like, he said yes to that really fast. And that's a lot of money, right? When it's $2 a pill, he just said yes to $8. And I was like, I don't like this guy anymore. Like just something in me turned off on him, and I didn't answer his calls anymore. I just stopped answering his calls. I was like, I'm fucking with this guy no more. He's out of control.
Yeah.
So I stopped fucking with him, and then 6 months later, 6 months, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. 6 months later, this fucking guy knocks on my door. I'm home, no job, smoking weed, watching TV. My 2 pit bulls are with me. It's like 11 in the morning and 10 in the morning. So somebody knocks on my door and I'm like, who is it? Nobody answers. So right now I think it's my friend fucking with me. So I don't say anything. They knock again and I'm like, who is it? They don't say anything. So I'm like, fuck, I don't say anything. Then they knock again and I'm like, come on. I get up and I'm like, how come you don't say? And when I open the door, I see the guy and now he's got a badge around his neck and he's with another guy and like he reached in to grab me. And the dogs like got all worked up, so I'm between him and the dogs. And I was like, "Hold on, let me just put the dogs." I already knew what time it was. I already knew what time. I already knew the jig was up. And I'm like, "All right, let me just put the dogs away, and I'll open the door. I don't have anything in here." You know, he's like, "All right, you better open the door." And I was like, "I will." I went and put the dogs in the room. Came back, opened the door. I was like, They searched me. Arrested me. I had just had shoulder surgery too, so then putting the handcuffs behind my back was so fucking brutal. And that's it. Then they whisked me into Lodi Police Department. They started asking me who I got weed from and stuff, and I was like, I just bought it in New York City. And then they were like, well, that doesn't help. And then they already had my
But it was 6 months later too, on top of everything else.
Yeah, because there was a task force. This was a Bergen County task force. This wasn't just some local beat cop playing games. This was a Bergen County prosecutors task force. That's why when they had arrested me, I was already indicted by a grand jury. They had already indicted me, a secret indictment they're called. Yeah, they convene a grand jury behind your back and everything. Yeah, and I already had bail. The judge had already signed what my bail was. I already had my charges. I was already speeded through the system. I was like, I'm not Pablo Escobar. Like, why did you waste all these resources on me? When we went to court and did discovery, because then I had to go to get a lawyer, right? I didn't think this was a big deal, bro. This is weed.
Yeah,
right? In my mind, I'm not a drug dealer. I gave this guy thing. All I did was take a couple weed.
Right.
I go to court, my arraignment, and my cousin's a bail bondsman. She was married to a bail bondsman, and he came all the way from South Jersey and posted my bail. And all that cost me was like $700 because it was $15,000 bail with no 10%.
Wow.
Like I was like, these people are really aggressive. Like why?
For real?
Yeah. So luckily he was a bail bondsman, or else I would have had to put the whole $15,000 up.
Wow.
But he came for I think it was like $800 I had to pay him, $700 or something like that. And he posted the bond.
Yeah.
And then all I had to do was go back to court, and he got his money back. But
wow.
I go to court, right, for my arraignment. Now, I'm also in school. I had just enrolled in Bergen Community College to go to school for criminal justice to become a cop.
This is great.
All right?
I love this.
I'm in school, right? So now I'm going to court, and my court cases are matching up with my schoolwork. So I'm learning about the process I'm going through, and I'm learning all the stages. I'm like, I'm here now. Yeah, I'm at this spot right now.
Hey, guys.
So I had an understanding. I'm like answering questions in class, and he's like, how do you know? Yeah, that's pretty good. I was like, yeah, I watch Law and Order, you know, like. And like one of the professors in my intro to criminal justice class was the Ridgewood police chief. Oh my god! Like so, we're talking to him about this stuff, and it was fucking crazy, right? So we're going through this. I'm going through everything at the same time. So I go to my arraignment. The judge is like, "Do you have a lawyer?" And I was like, "No, I don't have a lawyer." I'm thinking I'm going to get probation or something, whatever. And he's like, well, you should get a lawyer. He's like, you're facing 25 years in prison. And I was like, wait, what? And he's like, the charges that are brought forth, the school zone, the park zone, and the controlled substance, he's like, that totals to a maximum of 25 years in prison.
My God.
I suggest you get a lawyer next time you show up in my court. And I was like, I'll do that. I had cornrows like all the way down to my
No,
back.
you didn't.
I went there with just a button up, like a regular button up, and khakis and my tin boots. Like thinking, I'm telling you, I was like, this is probation. You know, I've never been in trouble before, right? And then I'm like, oh my God. I went to a lawyer. I left there, and I immediately went to a lawyer's office,
scary,
and cried like a
just
baby. I went into the lawyer's office. I waited, you know, I'm just waiting and everything's fine. Then they bring me into the room and he sits down and they're like, all right, what happened? I was like, I just fucking started bawling. I held it together the entire time until she was like, what happened? And I was like, I let it all out, told them everything that happened. They looked at the charges and they're like, oh, you know, we'll be able to get you off of this, whatever. So I left. And then I ended up getting another lawyer. And I got they really wanted me to go.
That's so scary.
Their plea deal, their first offer to me was like 5 years, 3 years minimum.
Wow.
In prison. And I was like, what are you guys talking about?
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I was like, you got to be out of your mind. So then I ended up getting this program called Drug Court. When they first started doing it in New Jersey.
Okay.
It was like this experimental program where you get sentenced to prison. I got sentenced like officially to 4 years in prison with an 18-year stipulation. Right? I mean 18-month stipulation. Yeah, 18 months. So I had to do, if I went to prison, I had to do at least 18 months.
Okay.
These are those mandatory minimums that Joe Biden signed into effect in 1994 for drug laws.
Wow.
The drug bill. Yeah, that they had to mandatory jail time for offenses. There was no negotiation. Not even the judge could.
Wait, for weed, right?
For weed, because I was in a school zone.
Okay.
Because I was across the street from the school the one time I sold it to him. Yeah. So that the law, not even the judge has the discretion to be like, nah, this case you shouldn't go to jail. No, the judge is like, by law, I have to sentence you to prison. And I'm like, this is fucking nuts. So they gave me this. You get the jail sentence, but then you don't go to jail. You go to jail, but you wait until a bed in rehab opens up. I had to convince them I was a drug addict. I told them I was doing all drugs, and I didn't say it was just weed. I was like, I'm smoking crack. I'm fucking I'm doing pills. Like I'm doing everything. Yeah. So that they would take me seriously. And like, I didn't lie because I had done all those things, but I wasn't a user. I was like a experimenter. I was a scientist. I was a scientist. All right. This is just investigative purposes. But so I did those things, but I wasn't addicted to it. But to me, I was pretending.
Yeah.
And then I got accepted into the program. Right? Yes, thank you very much. I was accepted into the program. They I had that time hanging over. So if anything happened in the program, I had 5 years in this program in drug court. I owed them 5 years.
Okay.
And if in those 5 years at any time I fucked up where they kicked me out of the program, then my jail time kicks in.
Oh, shit.
Without time served.
Wow.
Right? So it was just whenever I got kicked out, then I had to do that state prison time. So I had that looming over my head. So you wait in the county jail till a bed opens up. And in a rehab, and then you go to the rehab, and I spent 6 months in a rehab. Okay. And then I got out of the rehab, then I had to do 6 months outpatient rehab, where you're at a fucking rehab 3 times a week. And then I had to do, I had to go to court every week to check in every Thursday at 12 o'clock to do a urine, talk to the judge, and talk about what I'm doing, making sure I have a job, making sure I'm going to meetings, because I had to go to 3 AA meetings a week. On top of all that stuff I'm doing, then I had to go random urines on Friday, where you have to call in and see if I was on the list. Yeah. And then Monday's probation, right? So that was all on top of I had to have a full-time job.
I was gonna say, how
on the books,
did you do that? Wow.
Right? That's what they hit you with after you get out.
Oh my God.
So when I was on my way to sentencing, my brother was coming with me, and we're in the car. And he's like, we're talking about whatever. And he's like, you know how you beat them? He goes, you want to know how you're going to beat them? And I was like, how? He's like, do everything they tell you to do. And I was like, he goes, if you do everything they tell you to do, they can't fuck with you.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, And that stuck in my head. And then I went into the program and I did everything they told me. And I was like a drug addict. I took all the sessions and everything seriously.
Yeah.
I started working with the counselor, and we were going into like stuff about my dad, and I was tapping into all this unknown trauma. Like I had all this PTSD and all this trauma built up from, losing my dad at an early age, losing my uncle later on, losing my great grandmother, my grandmother. Like I had death throughout my whole family, my aunts, my uncles. Like so many people died growing up. So that's all I knew.
Yeah.
Growing up until I still to this day, I've been to Puerto Rico, I want to say 9 or 10 times, maybe. And one of those times was on vacation. The rest were funerals.
Wow.
Right? Like I buried my, oh my God, what was he? 8, 9 years old cousin. We went to bury him in freaking Puerto Rico. That was like, so this is stuff I've known my whole life, right?
So hard, yeah.
And in that rehab, I did so much work. Got out of that rehab. I did so much. I was an alcoholic. Like I went to AA. I sponsored people. I had a sponsor. I went through all the 12 steps. Yeah, I was in step groups. I went on retreats. This is all stuff that wasn't mandated by the court. But because my brother had put into my head, do everything they say, and then I started seeing results.
Yeah, because it was healing
because I'm doing all this stuff. And the 12 steps, like even if you're not an alcoholic, the 12 steps are such a spiritual experience because the first thing you do is acknowledge that you ain't the boss. Yeah. That there's a higher power than you. Whatever you want to call it, people would be like, this table is my higher power. Whatever. Right. But you know that you ain't the fucking shit. Yes. You're not the final boss.
Get humble.
Right? Yes. Yeah. You get that out of your head. Then the second step is acknowledging God damn it, I don't remember the steps now. Because I know the third step is turning over everything to your higher power. Then the fourth step is an inventory, which is crazy. You write an inventory of everybody that you are resentful against. You just write a list. So it's like in 4 parts. And I did this as part of a group. I went through the 12 steps as part of a men's group.
Yeah.
And it was just me and these guys, and we would meet at this guy's house in Clifton on Wednesday nights. He'd order pizzas. He's had all these snacks there. We'd all hang out. We'd be talking. We'd go over we'd do the steps all together. Yeah. The first step, the second step, the third step. The fourth step was like a long time because we'd all just go there. And then every Wednesday, instead of talking, we would go and we'd write.
Wow.
And you're sitting there and you have to write a list of everybody that's ever wronged you in your whole life. Anybody you feel ever did anything to you, that's all you're doing is the names.
I've done that.
Right?
Yeah.
Then the next column, you write what they did.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 what they did. And then you write that for everybody.
Yeah.
Then in the next column, what part did you play in it? Like, what was your role in this happening? And then that was basically putting it into your face that while everybody did something to resent you, or no, the third column is when in your life have you done that to someone else? Right? Like when have you done the same to someone else? And you write that down and you're like, oh God, then it really puts it like, don't be a hypocrite, you know?
Right. Yeah,
and then the fourth is what your part in it was. So you're resentful against this person that hit your car, but you were there, that you surrounded yourself with that person. Right. You put that person in your, it's basically looking at everything you're mad about, understanding that you are a person and they're a person and you've done things and they've done things. Yeah. And then also that you're not innocent. Take accountability for yourself.
100%. It's forgiving.
Yes.
But also forgiving yourself.
Yep. That fourth step. Yes. That sets that up for later.
Look at yourself.
Yeah. You know? Exactly. Because you start seeing it. You see all that stuff you're resentful. And then the fifth step, which is the hardest part, is telling somebody else that. You got to take everything you did in that fourth step, that fucking painful inventory. You got to be brutally honest. Don't be afraid to leave anything out. Leave it in there. Put it all in there. And then share it with somebody. Just sit down and you're going to go over everything. Okay, you're going to talk about it.
All right.
Not where it's a conversation, right? like you're not gonna talk to me about everything that's it. You're just gonna listen.
Yeah,
and
like you're getting
yes,
it out.
exactly.
That's
You're
good.
putting it out in the ethos, right? And then the sixth and the seventh step is when you look at, you pray to God to get rid of your character defects. You take a look at your character defects, and you pray to God to get rid of those, and that's an active thing.
Yeah.
Then the eighth and ninth step, then you write a list of all the people you wronged, all the people that you owe amends to. And then in the ninth step, you have to go out and make those amends to everybody.
You have to call them?
Oh, you have to dig everything up. Whether it's simple and you be like, hey, listen, man, in kindergarten, I stole your thing and I'm sorry. I just want to say I'm sorry. And some people will be like, oh, I didn't know. Like, you'll get a lot of those. Well, don't worry about it. Then you'll get people like, hey, man, that really hurt me.
Yeah.
And then you have that conversation. Now you're giving closure back to other people, too. Some people are like, I don't want to talk to you.
So heavy. Wow.
Yeah. Some people, you have amends that you have to make that you can't make because you've wronged somebody so bad that they don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah.
So you have to, like, be willing to make the amends, try to make the amends, and then if you can't, you have to do it like in another way. Like, I'll donate money to this cause,
Wow, you have to take a different,
Yeah, or if you stole something, right? Like if you stole $50 from Quick Check or something back in the day, you want to make amends for that. You can't go and give them $50. It's not, so like you'll donate to somebody else, or you'll
give in another way. So
figure out a way to balance it.
Wow.
Yes, you want to balance your life out. You don't want to walk around with all this stuff. And then by the time you get, that's the eighth and ninth step. 10th, 11th, and 12th step is all about working with other people and doing what somebody just did to you. You want to help somebody else because that's what keeps it fresh in your mind. That's what keeps you sober long term.
Right.
It's working with other people because 100%. It's like anything, right? When you teach somebody something, you learn it more yourself.
Hands on, absolutely.
Yeah. So doing all that stuff, like, I would have never done that stuff on my own. I would have never, as a young kid. I would have. That completely changed the trajectory of my life.
Wow.
Like, it made me become a man. Like, before that, I wasn't a man. I was still a boy. I was still.
Well, you said it. You didn't have that guidance. You didn't have the path. You didn't have. But this actually brought healing out.
Oh, so much healing.
It's like I know it came through that, and even in what we touch, right? That's why it's important, the things that we open up ourselves to. And listen, we all get burned. We're human. We want to touch it. We want to experience it. We want to go, hey, it's not that bad. And then, like, all of a sudden, but then you see anybody can be in that situation. Anybody can. There's nobody on earth can say, "Oh, I would never do that." All right, what do you do? you know, might be not. It's not one thing; it's another. But wow, that's.
Yep, I was at I did this like seminar when I broke up with my ex, not my ex-wife, but my ex before my ex-wife. And we had this relationship, and that was like my first adult relationship where I really felt like it was going to lead to marriage, and like I was so gung-ho about it. And but I was still insecure, and like all that stuff I told you about, like with my mom and Sears and stuff, I didn't realize that stuff even after the steps. And then I thought she was cheating on me, and she was like really suspect about the way she was moving, and it made me very insecure to the point where I was like, if she was like late home, I was like getting angry, like, and I was going through her phone, I was going through her emails. It was like such a sickness. And,
I've gone through that.
And I got mad, and I got, she'd be home late, and I'd go outside. I remember one time I was so angry, I went outside and I punched the stop sign, and then I walked back because I didn't want to put a dent in the house because we rented. I didn't want to fucking put like any holes in the house. I fucking went outside, I punched the shit out of the stop sign, and I walked back in the house. And I remember at that point, I was like, I can't live like this. Like, this isn't normal behavior. And I reached out to the guy that ran that group that I was in, and I was talking to him about it, and he recommended this seminar. It was called the Landmark Forum. Right? People think it's a cult because they're very hardcore about trying to make you buy more packages, right? So you sign up for a package. It was like $400, I think, and it's like a weekend. And I got like a Friday night, a Saturday, and a Sunday, and you're there all day, and you're doing this intense, therapeutic work about changing the voice in your head and like the conversations you're having.
Okay.
Yeah, the conversation that you have with your head. And that's how I came. Like, they have these exercises that reveal these decisions you made when you were a little kid and that you play out over and over again. And then you can see how your behavior is. And you also you like expose the rackets that you make in your own head. You know, where like a racket back in the day would be like it'd be like a bakery in the front, but meanwhile there's a speakeasy going on in the back. So everybody has that racket they put up front, but then there's the thing that they're really profiting from is in the background.
In the back, sure.
So that's like the victim mentality. A lot of people like playing the victim because it's rewarding. Right? You get to always be right if you're the victim. People give you the attention and the sympathy if you're the victim. You know? And that's like a racket you create in your head. So one of my rackets was that I thought that I wasn't worthy of anything because my mom wouldn't fucking buy me Boss jeans when I was a kid, right?
Right.
And that was like, yes. So exactly. So that's where, you know, I found that and I was just like, oh, you know, I'm not less than. Like, I had this whole like less than attitude and everything. I never would have imagined that I could be a comedian. Okay? That I could be on stage or that I could be an entertainer. These things were foreign concepts to me growing up. Nobody ever told me that I could do anything. You know what I mean? So the idea of me being anything was so foreign. Right? And I would have never done that today if I would never be who I am today if I didn't do all that stuff back then. Like all that work and got rid of all that baggage that you don't even know you carry.
Right.
You don't even know you carry. You go through life and nobody talks about mental health. Like now they're starting to, but like mental health and
but everything
working through
impacts
shit.
us, right?
Oh, everything.
Everything. And parents don't come, right? You're a dad. I'm a mom. Like, we don't have that manual of going, okay, but our generation is definitely different from our parents' generation. But for me, same thing. My parents came from Italy. They only knew how to survive. And it wasn't about keeping up with the Joneses or anything like that. It was literally just like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to come to America. They came with nothing, literally nothing. And my dad is funny. He came with branches in his pocket, branches of fruit trees.
Wow.
And we have the fruit trees.
It's a plant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like that's how they came, right? They weren't drying my tears when I was like, Daddy. Like, I never heard my father say I love you to me growing up, ever. But my lesson, so as a young girl, 12 years old, you know, I start going like, maybe I need a boyfriend, you know, and I start listening to all the other kids want. So my love that I started looking for, because I didn't have it in the words. My parents were all action. Like I said, they gave me everything. But they weren't like, oh, come here, I love you. Like no, it wasn't like that. So, but my void came from that and that's the thing. If you don't know that your kid is having that, and then they start acting out in this crazy behavior, I started looking for that, you know, like wanting that. And it was from like whatever, in that innocence, right? Because that's what happens naturally. But then realizing like, my parents gave it to me in a different way, you know? But that, for me, like not having that really affected me. So even getting married, I tell the story. I mean, it's sad, but it's true. I was like, okay, the day I was getting married, I'm like, my dad's going to tell me I love you. That's the stuff. I should be thinking about my husband.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, okay, he's going to grab my hand. This is me, like 24 years old. I'm like, he's going to grab my hand and he's going to tell me I look beautiful and tell me he loves me. No. My father looked at me and was like, you ready? Come on. I was like, that's it. I was like, what the hell? So that quickly plummeted, and I was like, but these are milliseconds of time. That's a thought, right? It's not like I'm sitting there and then I'm like, okay, I got to get married. I got to like move on with this thing. But then I saw it lingering, right? So all the stuff that until one day I was 25, and a voice came into my heart and was like, you have to show him love to get the love that you think you want. And I was like, I don't even know what the hell that means. So I started telling him, Dad, I love you. And he was like, oh, thank you. he wouldn't even, he couldn't comprehend the words. So then I started doing actions, right? Because the whole like 5 languages thing, right? It's actions, it's speaking, it's whatever, which I'm not really a huge person with that, but I understand. Okay, so I started doing things for him, bringing him to doctor's offices, like stupid things that I did for him. And that is the thing that bonded us more than anything else in his entire life, is when I started doing things for him. And I was able to I would write checks, I was 12 years old, like a little girl going like, all right, well, am I making the check out to? Because they didn't know how to do it. But,
well, that's how they showed you love.
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You had to, I had to, but no one tells you that, right? So now I'm 25-year-old adult, right? But then fast forward, my daughter was the first grandchild from my dad. My dad's one of 6. So he was like, I never saw his face light up until my daughter was born, like in how love, he didn't even know how to contain it anymore, And as she grew up, I remember her being 2-3 years old. I would teach her. I'd be like, go tell No that you love him. And then she would go, No, I love you. And he would look at her and not know what to say. And finally he said, thank you. He goes, but No doesn't know how to say that. So it was the cutest thing. So she climbed up on his lap. I said, go show him. She climbed up on his lap. So I could cry. And grabbed his face and literally said, say, I love you. And he was however old, 70 years old or whatever it was. And he started saying it. And through the house, in my parents' house, you hear my older Italian father going, I love you. And because,
wow,
and it was healing me because it made me realize, even as a young person, because I started rebelling really young. I rebelled. I was
looking for that I love you.
Yeah, because I would push him. My dad was a disciplinarian, I'd be on the phone, like the phone, landline, trying to talk to people. And my dad was like, old school Italian. Like, who the hell are you talking to? Bust through the door. So then I started rising up. That's a whole nother story. But it made me rebel against them.
Looking for that. That was one of the things they talked about. Like, one of the things that I learned at that seminar too was that you have to look at you can't expect people to love you the way you want them to love you. You have to accept the way they love you the way they love you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And and it's by that too. It's not just saying it, even though you were looking for that because that's what you.
Especially in I don't want to say in America, but it's true.
Yeah.
America is all
you
about
you wanted the Hallmark gift card. He's like, what gift card? I fucking built a life for you.
Let's talk about your feelings.
Yeah, look at this life I built for you. You tell me I don't love you? There's a scene with Denzel Washington with this kid. Right, and the kid's like, how come you don't love me? Right, and he tells him that in the movie, and he's like, what? He's like, because I don't. He goes, why don't you like me? He said, because he's always mean and strict with him, and he's like, I ain't gotta like you. He goes, I owe a responsibility to you and I build your house, but I don't gotta like you.
Wow.
It's all, you know what I mean? Like that. But then that was the way he was showing the love.
Sure.
That's how the movie ended up being. He was showing the love by doing all these things. Like, I don't have to do this shit for you. I'm doing it for you because you're my responsibility and I love you. Like that.
Listen, my dad right now, God rest his soul, he's been gone six years. Every single thing that if you come to his houses, you see everything of what he did, how he labored through love. So
that's a beautiful.
It healed me.
That's a beautiful story. That's a great way. That's a great way to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Because we gotta get out here. They're gonna be closing this bitch soon. Thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
This was so much fun. I gotta talk to you for a long time.
Gracias.
Let me pull up the wonderful sponsors of the VCast. I didn't get to talk to you about the pizza business too. I wanted to talk to you about that. I'll get you back on that. We got to do this again because
let's go to pizza. We can do it.
We'll talk. All right. Of course, as always, NJNYPoolTableService.com, the A team. You're moving your table. You're relocating. You just bought a table off Craigslist. Don't move it by yourself. You're gonna break it. You got to call somebody. This is my Italian friend here. The Italian 18, another family business passed down. I used to work with his father, and then his father taught him the business. Is one of my best friends growing up. Moving a pool table. The A-team are the best. Pool table service, pool table moving service, pool table repair, pool table dismantle, assembly, refurbishing, removal, sales, new cloth, all that good stuff. Go to njnypooltableservice.com and you will not be disappointed. And we got Empire Sewer and Water, New Jersey, because you don't want to be messing around with the sewers on your own. This is something you definitely don't want to do on your own. So call the experts, residential and commercial services. They get all your pipe cleaning needs. All right. This white guy has nothing to do with this. My friend is actually black. This is a black-owned business, but they got a white guy here to fool you. Right? They got a white guy there, so you'll trust them. That's the difference here. Empire Sewer and Water NJ. It's family owned and operated sewer and drain company. They provide efficient, reliable, and cost-effective services throughout New Jersey. They got 25 years of experience, and they're pretty courteous too. So if you need help, they'll help you out and be nice about it. So give them a shout. If you need emergency services, go to the website and call them. The Empire Sewer and Water NJ.com. And last but not least, we have the wonderful Combat Fitness Club. Dane Guerrero Combat Fitness Club. Get trained by a professional boxer over in Ridgefield Park on Main Street. They have cardio classes. They got all that good stuff to make sure you're ready for the Belmar Shore. And if anything pops off, you could defend yourself and get out of Dodge, all right? You don't want to be the one to throw the first punch. That guy's usually an asshole. But if somebody does throw the first punch, you want to be able to learn what to do about it, all right? That's what, yeah, exactly. One of the things that somebody always says that I like is if something happens, you want to be able to control who gets hurt. You want to be able to be the one that determines who's going to get hurt in an altercation. So go get some damn training. I bring my daughter here. It's helped her. I feel bad for any little kid that she throws a right hook to in the face because she hit me in the shoulder the other day. It hurt. She knows how to throw with her hips, and she gets the whole twist on it. She's got power coming. These kids won't know what hit them, literally. All right, Combat Fitness Club. Go. You're gonna have to just show up there or Google them and get the phone number and call for your appointment because their Instagram page with all the information is down. He keeps getting kicked off online. I don't know what they're doing over there at Combat Fitness. That's getting them kicked off of Instagram and Facebook. But that's it for the sponsors. As always, the Dojo of Comedy, tiffscomedy.com. Check out the shows we got here. It's always popping. How can they reach you online?
Rosabella38 on Instagram.
Ooh, Rosabella38. You got the old school name.
Yeah. I didn't change it.
You got the AOL screen name. That's great.
And RoRo Antonuccio on Facebook.
Wonderful. All right. Thanks, RoRo. Appreciate you. Thank you for listening. And I'll see you on the next one. Mwah.
You're listening to my dad of the VCast.